So what do we got here?
We have notes from the Republic and the government of Texas.
All right, that is pretty cool. It's pretty amazing. Most people in Texas believe they live in a separate country already, and it'd be really cool to have their own money, too.
Absolutely. I came to the pawn shop today to sell a set of Republic of Texas and a government of Texas note. This is the real currency that they used back in the 1830s and 40s. The reason I'm trying to sell the notes is the business that I own has invested in them. It's time to refund the business.
So we have 9 Republic of Texas bills, and this one that says Government of Texas. We have Sam Houston right here. He was president. Most people don't know that.
He was indeed.
It just wasn't of the United States. It was the Republic of Texas.
Absolutely.
Texas was part of Mexico. There was a revolution. They declared their sovereignty. It was its own country. And then the United States government sort of annexed Texas, saying, you're part of the United States. The people in Texas really didn't dig that. Texas has a wild history. Native groups like the Comanches were fighting in that area for over 1,000 years. And when European explorers showed up in the early 1500s, the fighting just got worse. Finally, Texas declared itself independent from Mexico and was its own country for 9 years, before the U.S. government annexed Texas in 1845. So tell me what you know about the bills.
The notes were produced between 1838 and 1840. Finest set of notes known to exist. All the notes have been authenticated and graded, so there's no question as to their authenticity or the quality.
Not only are these bills old and rare, they've already been authenticated and graded, and they're in great condition. I can definitely sell these and make a profit if the guy will let them go at the right price. So what were you looking to do with them all?
Sell them.
Okay, and how much did you want for them?
The 9 notes of the Republic of Texas, approximately $25,000. And then for the government of Texas note, $650,000.
650.
Thousand.
Oh, really? Why would you think this bill was worth so much?
That's the rarest of all of them. It's the only known uncirculated specimen graded. The next highest note is AU 58, which is about uncirculated.
Okay, Ed, do you know how much that one sold for?
I still own it.
Okay. All right, so we have nothing to compare the price to.
Not a thing.
Do you mind if I call someone and try and figure out this price here?
I think that would be a good idea.
650 grand is more than I've ever spent on anything coming in the shop. So there's no way I'm gonna shell out that kind of money until I have someone look at it. Who knows, it could be worth every penny.
Hi, guys.
Jay, how's it going, man?
What's going on, Jay?
The guys call me in when they have a piece of currency that they need more expertise.
The guy's got a lot of stuff here from the Republic of Texas and one from the government of Texas.
Looks like a nice collection. These notes are part of a very colorful history. They're fascinating, they're scarce, and they come up at auction, usually in lower grades. Early Texas notes can be very rare, and like anything else, it depends strictly on condition. This gentleman might have something real valuable here. What we asking for this group?
In the neighborhood of about $25,000, with a $500 bill, which you very rarely see.
So you're evaluating this at around $10,000?
At least, yeah.
And these you're evaluating at about $700 to $1,000 each?
Yeah, about that.
In my opinion, the retail value on these would be $300 to $600 each.
Okay.
On the 500, I would say a couple of thousand. In an auction, it could go for more.
But not 10,000.
Not even close. Now, this is quite a bill, this Government of Texas $10. I believe this is the highest grade they've ever issued for this. This is very different from the rest of these. I think it's in fabulous condition. What were you asking for this bill?
$650,000.
Yeah. Actually, that's not even in the ballpark. That's over the moon, over the planets, over the stars. Has anyone offered you a quarter of that?
I've turned down that offer.
Well, have you saved their phone number?
Absolutely.
You better run and take it before they change their mind. I would put a much lower value on this.
Okay.
In my opinion, the $10 Sam Houston note would retail for $5,000 to $7,000, and on a great day at a great auction, $10,000.
I paid more than that. I've looked up the auction records to know where they trade. This note, of course, has never been seen before.
Well,
Nothing like it.
But it's still a limited number of collectors. It's not like $20 gold pieces. It's not like silver dollars that have millions of people that are interested.
Absolutely.
This is a small universe of collectors, maybe a few thousand real serious collectors. So the fact that something is the finest known is great, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's worth a fortune of money.
Most people don't have a clue what it's worth.
You're on your own. I've
Thanks,
given
Jay.
you my opinion.
Okay.
It's a free country, and people can ask whatever they want. I have to give my opinion based on what I consider the real world, the real market.
Obviously, we're really far apart. You know, my guy says 6,500, you're saying 650,000, so.
I appreciate you bringing in an expert, but obviously this is so rare, he just doesn't normally deal with it. And if I could buy notes at his price as retail, I'd probably buy him out.
Jay's my guy, I gotta listen to him. I've never had any deal that far apart before on prices, but
Just more research and more time is probably what we needed.
obviously a deal's not gonna be made here today. Just a difference of opinion, happens all the time.
Absolutely.
No hard feelings.
No hard feelings.
All right.
Certainly, he doesn't know enough about the Republic or the government of Texas to give an accurate number. This man just doesn't have a clue what he's talking about.
Hello.
Hello, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. What can I do for you?
I have a coin here.
What is this?
I'm not so sure. I picked it up from an estate sale, and I've done a little research on it, but I'm not quite sure exactly what it means.
Kind of looks like Caesar crossed with Medusa and on a bad hair day.
I was at an estate sale, and I found the coin mixed in with a bunch of other items, and I've had it now for about 3 months, and it's really hard to find out how much coins are worth. The information's just not out there, but I'm hoping to get somewhere in the near 15,000.
It's actually in really, really good condition. Hey, Rick, check it out. Don't you wish you could have a hair day like that?
This is interesting. Do you know anything about it?
Just a little bit of a story about the guy. He was a king, and he conquered a bunch of land.
I'm probably pronouncing this all wrong. King Mithridates or something like that, I forget. He was the king of Pontus, where Turkey is today. You know, he had control of cities where there was a lot of Roman citizens. I mean, one day he basically killed 80,000 Romans within his cities because he was afraid they were going to rebel against him. He
wow.
Married his sister.
That's
I don't know if
strange.
they have kids or not. You know, it would be a little awkward, I guess,
Yeah.
especially at school. King Mithridates was such a bad guy. He was a tyrant, but he was also a really great general. And the Roman Empire could not expand until they got rid of this guy. He was definitely no joke. But the real joke would be is if I wasn't here and Chum had to figure out this coin all by himself. What were you looking to get out of it?
Maybe 15?
1,500?
No.
15,000?
Yes.
This is the problem with old coins like this. They're counterfeited all the time, but then again, there's also the possibility it's real. I need someone to look at it. If you don't mind hanging out for a little bit, let me get
Okay.
someone down here who knows all about this. Give me 5 minutes, okay?
Thank you.
So you want to buy a coin while you're waiting?
Not really, I came to sell one. Rick's gonna call an expert in, but at the same time, he thinks it might be fake, and that concerns me, because I was really hoping that it was going to be real.
How's it going, man?
Good.
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is the guy who married his sister, ate poison, and was more or less killed by the Romans.
I'm guessing Mithridates.
Yes, however you pronounce it.
Well, on here it says King Mithridates Eupatros, which is descended of a noble father.
Okay.
He was descended on his mother's side from Greek kings like Alexander, and on his father's side from Persian kings. So he literally, on one side, he has the Greek heritage covered. On the other side, he has his Persian heritage. And you notice how he looks a little bit like Alexander the Great on here with that wild flowing hair. He did this on purpose.
Because in this time period, everyone wanted to be the great general, the great leader that Alexander the Great was.
Very interesting.
3 wars with Rome. He started by imprisoning his mother and his brother, married his sister, and in the end, he was betrayed by his own son and committed suicide.
Okay.
What a lovely family.
Sounds like the Kardashians.
So how old is this coin?
If it's real, it's about 2,200 years old.
Ooh-wee.
But the survival rate is very low. So I'm gonna loop it Yeah, this is the real deal.
How much is something like that valued at?
Well, these are in real demand from collectors. It's probably 10,000 plus. Yeah,
Pretty nice coin there.
it's a beautiful coin.
Well, thanks, Dave. I appreciate it,
No
man.
problem. Thank you.
All right.
Best of luck. And congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh, finding a coin like this in an estate sale is like the proverbial needle in a haystack. It's something really unusual.
So what do you realistically want out of it?
10?
Well, that's not going to happen. I mean, there's a million expenses involved in selling it, and I got to make something.
What are you thinking?
More like 5.
5?
Okay.
You got to be able to do better than that.
No, but I have to get it sent off. I have to get it encapsulated and graded.
How about 7?
You know, I don't mean to beat you up here. I really don't. I'd give you like $5,500 for it. It's a tough sell. It really is. Some things like this can sit around here for years.
I just want to see if there's a way that I can maybe sell it to a collector.
You want to shop it around?
If I still have it in a month or 2, would you still be willing to buy it at that time?
Yeah, as long as the world hasn't come to an end or anything like that, yeah.
Sounds
All right.
good.
Well, have a nice day.
Thank you.
Nice meeting you.
Likewise, thank you. I really have nothing to lose. Rick said I can come back in a month or 2 if I still have it, if I haven't found another buyer.
Tight one.
You'll never understand business, will you? Oh, but you want to be manager. That's right. Okay, never mind.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. I got the Smoking Hamilton. It's a U.S. currency error. I think it's a one-of-a-kind item.
Okay. It's just a really funny error for them to make on it because he's definitely smoking something.
I have the Smoking Hamilton, $10 bill, U.S. currency error. Looks like he's smoking a cigarette. I'm wanting to get $50,000 because I believe it's a one-of-a-kind item. If I'm able to sell the bill today, I'm going to take the money and buy a brand new car.
It's definitely really cool. He's the only guy besides Ben Franklin that was never a president that's on a bill. Hamilton was a really, really interesting guy. He's probably one of the coolest founding fathers that we have. This guy came over, joined up with George Washington, was so smart and so educated that he became in charge of the Treasury of the United States. And then he actually got killed in a duel by the vice president, Aaron Burr, at the time. Where in the world did you get this?
Well, I'm a collector of U.S. currency errors, and a dealer I know came up with this. He bought a whole collection, and this was one of the errors that were in the package.
Okay. It does look like he's smoking a cigarette.
Yeah, right.
I've never seen a smoking Hamilton before, but I don't know how uncommon it is. I know that up until recently, there was a lot of errors made in bills. Some make it more collectible than others. Obviously, this one has the novelty of it looking like he's smoking a cigarette.
Yeah.
So what are you looking to get out of it?
I'm looking to get like $50,000.
Whoa,
I feel like it's got more value. It's a one-of-a-kind item.
could it be worth a lot of money? I don't know. I'm not very good when it comes to these error bills like this. I really never know what exactly they're worth. So if you don't mind, let me call in a buddy of mine. His name's Peter. He's a currency expert. He'll be able to tell me exactly what this thing's worth.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, hang out, and I'll be right back, okay?
Okay. I'm very excited to find out what the currency expert is going to say today, because I've talked to various people and nobody has really set a number on it.
Hamilton, quite funny actually, because I was just trying to get tickets for the play. Impossible. Cannot get tickets. So what are your questions about this bill here?
I'm notoriously bad with these air notes.
Sure.
I know they're collectible. I just don't know why some of them are worth so much more than others.
So errors are in the eye of the beholder. There is no real market value. Things don't sell exactly the same every day, every month. It really depends on how dramatic the error and so forth is and who really wants it. But at the same time, errors can be worth a lot of money depending on how dramatic it is.
So what do you think with this?
Well, this is an obstruction error, which happens when there's a piece of particle, say lint, something falls on top, printed on, and then it falls off, and it creates an obstruction. It happens to be in a location near Hamilton's mouth that looks like a cigarette. However, the error itself is not rare. It's actually one of the most common possible errors.
Hey, he's asking 50 grand for it.
I'm sorry. 50,000 is. Are you smoking something?
So what are you thinking it's worth?
It's very minor error, but it's in the right location. If I have to put a value on this bill, But I'd say around $500 to $600. But even then, I think it's kind of on the high side.
It's less than the value I thought it was going to be, that's for sure.
It's so hard to put a real market value, but I can assure you, Corey, you don't want to pay anywhere near 50 grand. I'm sorry, but that's just my expert opinion.
That's what I'm gonna have to go with, man. I appreciate it.
Good seeing you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so this is one of those weird situations that I hate being in. If it's worth $500, that means I could probably pay you $300, and it's really hard to offer somebody $300 when they asked for 50 grand. So I'm offering you $300. Where do you want to go from there?
I think I'll just hang on to it and see if I can get a little better offer than that.
Okay, man. I appreciate it, man. Take care.
I thought I had an item with a much higher value, but $300 is like crushed my expectations.
What do we have here? Looks like something from Mission Impossible.
I could buy your house with this.
Oh, now you look like an old drug dealer.
Coming into the pawn shop today because I have German currency from the early 1900s. It goes from 1,000 marks denomination all the way up to about 1 million marks. I'm asking $10,000, but I don't think I'm going to settle for anything less than $5,000.
Whoa, pretty cool. I mean, you probably have, I don't know, I mean, most of them are thousands.
Yeah, most of them are thousands.
9 million marks.
Yep.
That's $1 million bill.
Yeah.
I mean, you probably got 100 million face value here. And back then, it wouldn't buy a loaf of bread. Basically, what happened was the treaty that ended World War I was the Treaty of Versailles. We demanded reparations from Germany.
Right.
We demanded just a ridiculous amount of gold. Everyone in Europe demanded manufactured goods. Even the United States got Zeppelins, airships from them. And it basically collapsed their economy. They had to borrow money, which they really couldn't pay back, so they printed more money. That caused inflation, so they printed more money. This was how bad it was. In 1919, 4 marks would buy you a loaf of bread. By 1923, it was 1 trillion marks.
It's crazy.
The value of money got so bad that it was written on the walls in public restrooms, use toilet paper, not the currency. It clogs the toilets. I am not kidding.
I believe that.
After World War I, the effects of the Treaty of Versailles really screwed up the German economy. It created a massive economic depression and a gateway for a guy like Hitler to come into power. The Treaty of Versailles more or less guaranteed World War II. How much do you want for these?
10,000.
Marks?
Dollars.
No. You would think they would be worth money, but it's not rare. I'd give you $100 for the entire lot if you want it.
Could you do 2,000?
No. It's interesting, it's cool, but literally, I know places where I can get these for 10 cents a piece.
For 10 cents a piece, yeah.
I mean, I'd give you $100 for them.
Okay. Well, I think I'm going to have to walk away.
I understand. You might need to heat your house one day.
I will wallpaper the house with this stuff.
Yes. Have a good one, man.
All right, you too. Thank you. Well, I think the money's worth more considering the prices collectors were getting online, so I'm kind of bummed out that I was kind of lowballed. I was definitely expecting more.